So, Jim, I have been tasked as the resident movie guy
Okay, Nick.
to talk about our favorite Christmas films
Yes.
of the year.
And they do lend themselves to good movies.
They do. The thing I love about Christmas movies and this time of year when we get into movies is it's a time to get back to movies that are just a tight 90 minutes.
Yes.
That are entertaining
Yes.
and well and formatted and well paced. Maybe it's because they're older films, but I don't know. This might get into my my criticisms of modern filmmaking. But at the same time, yeah, these movies definitely much easier watch to me. Even every year, even though it's the same movie over and over again.
I'm glad you brought that up, Nick, because they're called classics for a reason. And then seem every holiday time, let's watch this movie, let's watch that movie. And I find some of them, I pick up different things maybe I missed from the time before.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a good thing about that's a quality in movies that I really do appreciate is when you can rewatch it second, third, fourth, whatever time, and there's still something new that you're picking out about it that you love. Something that you didn't notice the first time that you really liked that affected you.
Okay,
you know, I definitely agree with you there for sure. So, what would be your what's the one movie you're looking forward to every year?
Every year, it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but it's got a huge Canadian contingent in it.
I didn't know that.
So most of the voice actors, Larry Mann, who was Yukon Cornelius, and Paul Soules, who's Hermie the Elf, and a lot of the voice actors were Canadian.
No kidding.
Yes.
No kidding. It's funny. My wife's not from Canada. And she's, not from a Christian nation. She's from Turkey. So this was all new. All these Christmas movies are new to her. And we did watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because it's also a staple for me.
Yeah.
When I was a kid growing up, it always came on TV and we always managed to see it. And it was just the old claymation. It's just, there's a certain charm to it still. Absolutely. But my wife was more taken back by it.
Really?
We're used to it. We're used to it.
Yeah.
Her take is that Santa just seems like a giant asshole. And I have to agree.
Well, he was pretty grumpy for most of the movie.
Yeah. Quite prejudiced. Very, very off-put by this red nose and this reindeer. Unsettlingly so. And I think in our modern times, perhaps there's something about it that just doesn't sit right with the new viewer.
But for me, it's Bumble, it's Yukon Cornelius, it's Hermie, just everything about it, the story, the Island of Misfit Toys. And so it's become part of our vernacular. Yeah. And there'll be a different group saying we're the Island of Misfit Toys or, like stuff like that. And it's one of those ones I know everything's going to happen. I see it every year and I still get excited. Yeah. No, it's great. It's still a great special. It's funny. I've seen Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer a million times, but I've never seen Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Oh, with Meisterburger?
Yes, never seen the Heat Miser. I just know this through people. I've never actually seen it.
You got one foot in front of the other. Yeah, that's the song. It's really good.
Yeah, I've still failed to watch.
Okay.
But yeah, again, that's another.
Okay,
one.
What's your number one?
My number one, very simple. Home Alone.
Really?
Home Alone is something.
Okay.
I can't watch it too early. We watched Home Alone 2 early in December. That's the policy.
Yes.
Just to get our Home Alone
before
fix.
the original.
Yeah. We don't want to blow our shot with Home Alone right away, but we still want to watch Home Alone. So we watch Home Alone 2, which is the same movie, but not quite as good as Home Alone 1, in my opinion.
It just, as a parent, I still can't believe they were on the plane when they realized they forgot Kevin. Yes,
this is a stretch, but I don't know. I don't know what it's like to have 12 children. That's how they get away with it, I guess. Is there's so many kids that you lose track of them.
And again, Toronto's Catherine O'Hara is brilliant in the movie.
Yeah, Catherine O'Hara, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. I watched this movie when I was 9 years old. I was just a year or two younger than
I was going to say Macaulay Culkin, right?
Yeah. And this movie had me just screaming in the theater, just losing my mind, just seeing, a 9-year-old kid hurt adults with cartoon violence and doing PG level swears was just the most mind-blowing thing when I was 9.
You filthy animal.
Exactly. Yeah. Filthy. Oh God. Such great scenes. Again, a very tight movie. It's entertaining
from beginning to end.
Yep.
And it ramps
holds
up
well.
It really does. It really does. And it's aged fairly well. I mean, I think a lot of parents would say this is a bit too violent for a 9-year-old.
Well, now consider the video games that some of these 9-year-olds play. So
that's the thing. I mean, it's just I give it a pass. I'd let my 9-year-old daughter, who is not 9 yet, but would watch this movie.
Now, my other one is The Grinch. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Both the original animated and Jim Carrey, with Ron Howard directing, did a really cool one. And Jeffrey Tambor is in it, and Christina Baranski. And it's well done. But the original, The Grinch, with Max the dog and Cindy Lou Who, and to this day, when someone's being grouchy in the holidays, we're like, don't be a Grinch.
Don't be a Grinch. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you for the original cartoon. The Ron Howard, I just feel like everything that needed to be said was said in that original cartoon.
Yeah.
And then the expanded Grinch universe, I don't care.
Yeah.
This is just me. Maybe I'm just cynical. But absolutely, the Grinch, great story. Absolutely. Let me think. So we have, then there's Die Hard. I think that's on both of our lists.
That's a Christmas movie.
Absolutely.
It's an office Christmas party. The only reason John McClane flew from New York to LA to the Nakatomi Tower was to be with Holly at the office Christmas party.
And it ends with Let It Snow.
Right.
Let it
exactly.
snow. Absolutely. It's absolutely a Christmas movie. And the thing with Die Hard, and people will roll their eyes, it's just a change of pace from the typical Christmas movie. You know, sometimes we just want to see, some good action, and that movie. It's another movie where I find something new to appreciate about it every time. I know it's a genre film. It's people shooting at each other, but upon watching it the last few years, it's realized how great the cinematography is.
It's fantastic.
The pacing is so good. It just keeps you hooked the whole time.
Alan Rickman, people forget this, and I just read about this not that long ago. It was his first movie. He was a theater stage actor, and he was so brilliant as Hans, the uppity criminal gang leader. He was brilliant in it.
Absolutely brilliant. And I miss movies like this. I still think there are only 3 Die Hard movies, but yes, I miss movies like this. These tight 90 minutes. I think Die Hard's about 2 hours. I think 2 hours and
just
change.
under.
But you don't feel it. You don't feel it.
Because of the health issues that Bruce Willis is going through right now, I appreciate it even more now, Nick.
Sure.
Because I know that he's having a tough time physically, and his daughters and Demi Moore and his ex-wife have been posting about it. But at that time, Bruce Willis, yippee-ki-yay, blank, 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 everything he was so cool, and it was such a great late 80s movie. And there's so many things about it, like I just pick up and I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely one of my faves.
Yeah.
An easy rewatch, and there are a few movies like that for me, for sure. So I thought we'd get into, we have these older movies that we go on, and us old geezers here.
Yeah, well.
But there are newer movies that are, I think, are worthwhile. So I thought we approach that a bit. That we could possibly add to the repertoire. I've had 3 new ads, so three movies that I watch every year now that are from the last 10 years or so that I think are worthwhile and maybe people should check out. And it depends on your taste, of course. But the first one is The Night Before. Have you heard of this movie?
Is that the one with Seth Rogen?
Yes,
and he's wearing the Jewish with the
the Star of David Hanukkah sweater.
Yeah, Star of David Hanukkah sweater, right?
Yeah, stuff like what I'd say about that one is, it's sort of a screwball comedy.
Yeah.
It's sort of a drug. It's almost It's like The Hangover but Christmas. With the supernatural element. It's sort of a spoof. There's sort of a spoof of A Christmas Carol.
Yes, there is a bit of that vibe to it. You're right.
Yeah. Michael Shannon, I think, is the best part of this movie. He plays a drug dealer.
And of course, he's just now in Nuremberg. He's one of the most accomplished actors in Hollywood.
Well, that's the great. His intensity makes it so great. He's just this very intense. He's Michael Shannon as a drug dealer.
Yeah.
It's absolutely hysterical. Love it. So yeah, Night Before.
Okay, that's good.
Not everyone's speed, but I think it's definitely my speed. I would say for sure.
And
next one, Klaus. Klaus.
Have you heard of this one?
No.
It's a shame because it almost won Best Animated Picture a couple of years back, I think around the pandemic times. It lost out to Toy Story 4, which I think is a shame. So it's a 3D film, almost looks 2D. It's almost 2.5D looking. It's a origin story movie about Santa.
Okay.
It takes place in I forget whether it's Norway. It's
some
Scandinavian country, and just tells this really beautiful story about Santa and a mailman who invent the whole Santa myth.
Who are the voices?
There's J.K. Simmons as Klaus.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, with one of the best speaking voices in Hollywood.
Jason Schwartzman as the mail carrier.
Okay,
great. There's Rashida Jones as the lead female.
She's fantastic,
really great. And Norm Macdonald, the late Norm Macdonald,
Ottawa's own.
Yeah, it still makes me sad.
Yeah,
and he's great in it as well.
Okay, that's one I'll take a look for.
Definitely easy to rewatch.
Okay,
definitely a strong one in my opinion. The last one is, and this one I'm not sure how people would feel, is Four Christmases.
And it's with Vince Vaughn?
Yes, Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon.
It's fantastic.
Really good.
And Robert Duvall's in it.
Yes, Robert Duvall. Yeah, great cast.
It's actually a really good movie.
Amazing. As a guy who comes from a divorced family, this is so being so in the basic plot of it is a couple, but
and they're trying to bounce around to the different families and how different they are.
Exactly. They both come from divorced families.
Yes.
So it's four Christmases. It's for both parents of each of them, and each of these families are insane in their own way, and it really feels like you really get that sense of like the battling personalities, when you're dealing with people with troubled families.
And Nick, there's a lot of people watching this right now who are about to experience the very same thing.
Absolutely. That's why it hits so close to home, and it's funny. It's it's well structured.
I like it. It's actually it really surprised me how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and how much the kick I got out of it.
Yeah. And again, you can watch it again. That's the thing. Man. It's very rewatchable. So those would be my three picks. I don't know if you have any.
It's 2009, so it's not too old.
Close enough.
And it's Jim Carrey and Gary Oldman in the updated version of The Christmas Carol.
Okay.
And it's Robert Zemeckis directs it, and he uses the same technology from the Polar Express.
Right.
And it's fantastic. Jim Carrey, his mannerisms, his voice. And I'm such a huge Gary Oldman fan. I'm really getting into Slow Horses now. And he's so good in it. And it's such a timeless story, Charles Dickens, The Christmas Carol. And it's got a bit of a modern twist to it, but still true to the original with the modern actors, Jim Carrey and Gary Oldman. And I think it's very watchable. If you don't want the stodgy old black and white Christmas Carol, this is a good version of it. And it's sort of like a live animation with Jim Carrey, Gary Oldman. It's very well done.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I haven't seen it, but I definitely got to check it out because I'm looking for a Christmas Carol to watch.
This is very watchable.
Yeah,
it's very watchable. I mean, the other one that I guess goes with that is Bill Murray and Scrooged.
Yes, and I was just at the tip of my tongue. I definitely want to talk about Scrooged because I think that's another underrated classic film.
And
absolutely.
I mean, basically the premise is he's a TV director, producer who wants to do a live show on Christmas Eve. And all the crew and everything, and it's a bit of a farce, but there's a lot of good story to it as well.
It's so dark. And it's a great retelling. It's a great modern retelling, in the 1980s New York.
Yes.
Yeah. And what was I going to say? I think an underrated. I'm using underrated too much, but one of my favorite characters in that movie is the Ghost of Christmas Past, the cab driver. David Johansen was the actor.
He was a singer with the New York Dolls.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, he's very good in it.
Yeah, my favorite part of the movie is the cab driver. And there's that one scene where he goes, "Take me to the NBC building," and he goes, "Which floor?" I love it.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Now, we would be remiss if we're talking Christmas movies, if we didn't talk about Love Actually.
Well, what's your opinion of Love Actually? Before
I enjoy it, and there's certain scenes like Bill Nye when he starts doing a song and he strips down and all that, and it's funny. But really, Colin Firth when he goes to the restaurant and he's speaking Portuguese to extend his love, undying love to the girl. I don't know. I love it. I just really enjoy it.
I just don't know what kind of asshole uses a typewriter outdoors.
Well, I'm a laptop guy myself, but it just added to the charm of the movie.
I guess. But as a writer myself, I look at this and just go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Still using a typewriter outdoors? And, I feel the same way as you do. I do really enjoy a lot of Love Actually, and I can rewatch it. But unlike these other movies, there's stuff that makes me kind of go tilt a bit while watching it. And there's been a lot of rehashing Love Actually, and is this actually a good movie or not?
I think it's a good movie.
Sure, it definitely obviously people love it. My criticism of Love Actually, my biggest criticism of Love Actually, is the incel guy plot. I don't know if, and maybe you don't remember it that well because I feel like it's the worst part of the movie, in my opinion. And that's the guy who can't seem to get a date, can't seem to get laid
right.
in the UK.
Yes.
And he has this whole speech about, he's talking with his friend about, I can go to America. People will love my accent and I'll get all the women and
right. Okay. Yes. Now you yes. Okay.
Yes. So, and what happens in that plot? Well, he does do that. He goes to America. The first bar he sits his ass down into, all of a sudden he has 3 women on his arm. Right. All of a sudden.
Right. Which happens all the time.
All the time. This is definitely. If you're from the UK, you just go there. It's just free. It's just, and that's the beginning, the end of it. He goes to the US and January Jones suddenly is just enthralled with this guy, and they invite him back, and he has a threesome or foursome or something like that. And it's just like, is that the message you're giving? Is that, and I feel like the plot should have been, he goes to the US, January Jones says, "Get out of here, dork." And he comes back to the UK in shame. And then, in that moment of vulnerability, he learns that, being himself, he finds, a girl in the UK just by being himself or whatever. There's some kind of character development here. There's some kind of lesson, but in this plot, there's no lesson. Just go to a foreign country with your fancy accent and women will throw themselves at you. That to me was garbage.
But think about this. Colin Firth, Liam Neeson, Emma Thompson, Keira Knightley, Alan Rickman, Laura Linney, who I think is really good at it, Martin Freeman, and I'm a big fan of Martin Freeman.
Yeah.
You talk about star-studded, it's incredible.
Absolutely. Great cast.
Yeah. And it's,
Hugh Grant.
Here's the thing about these, and every year Netflix and all the streaming services, basically it's page after page a holiday movie. I think sometime with all the stress and everything, Nick, we just want to feel good.
Sure.
We want to laugh. Maybe they do something silly or stupid and you laugh at them. And that's why I think National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, when he hooks the light up, there's someone that lives a couple blocks from my house that basically, we call them the Griswolds because they have so many lights, right?
Yeah. Oh, and
everyone's got a cousin Eddie.
Yes, exactly. It's very relatable. Very relatable
is.
Again. Yeah, absolutely. And absolutely funny. And just fantastic movie. Fantastic.
Now, our daughters are in their 20s and they sometimes cringe because my partner and I we like these sort of sappy, and they're like, oh. So we have to balance it out with the kids. Okay, which one do you want to watch? And we each take our turn in that. So there's a little harmony in the TV room.
And what do they turn to?
They love the Jim Carrey Grinch.
Okay.
They love that. I think Rudolph is that's my big one. They go with that. But I think they just Love Actually is a good one. Charlie Brown Christmas, you can't go wrong with it.
Sure.
I think that's a standard, but just
it's so
fun
somber.
Christmas movies. Yeah. But the one thing I know, the girls, because they're such big Seth Rogen fans, they do like Last Night.
Right.
Just because that's their kind of wheelhouse for movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, again, it's a different speed of Christmas movie. It's darker, it's more, it's dirtier, it's raunchier. But
now, the one of the ultimate, it's NSFW, is Billy Bob Thornton in Bad Santa.
Okay, yeah.
Now it is even I remember seeing an interview with him. He can't believe like that he did it, how popular it became. And you want to talk about dark movies,
Right?
but there is like some tender moments in it. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, well, that's a really fun quality when you watch a movie that's you're just it just seems like it's a dirty film, but
It's
then
so offside.
but then it hits you somehow.
Yes,
and
it does.
Yeah, that's the brilliance of it. And if it was just sheer raunch, then I think it wouldn't have the same impact that it does. Absolutely.
And maybe one day they'll make a movie as good as Die Hard.
Someday
They're
gonna reboot it. That's what they're gonna do.
Oh no!
I know.
No, please, no.
I don't want it either. Just
No,
make a new movie for
Yeah,
once.
you have to make please. Yes, please, Hollywood, make a new movie. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.